Smile. Hi, namaskar, Neeti ji. I'm so happy to have you here today. And we're doing this little interview with you just to give a flavor of what it is to be there for somebody. And so I would just like you to talk about yourself and what got you here, your background, your family, your education. So if you can just talk a little bit and then finally come around to what it is that you do right now and who or what event inspired you or put you on this track or, just go ahead.
Okay, that's a lot of questions. Well, first off,
No, just let it flow like a story. Just think back to yourself and just let it flow.
sure. First off, it's really good to see you after a really long time, since the class ended. But yeah, I'm happy to kind of share some of my stories and narratives. So I was born in India in Ambala, Kent, and I grew up in a city called Panipat. Um, my parents moved to Panipat because they wanted to be close to my maternal grandparents. My paternal grandparents died during the India-Pakistan partition. We're a family of four, me, my sister, older sister, and my parents. And the most beautiful memories I have really are of my childhood. So really enjoyed the time growing up in India. I did my engineering in Nagpur in India, and I did my master's in computer information systems in the US.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think which next question should I answer?
No, don't think about the question. So just like walk yourself through your life, right? So what triggered this, what happened? Was it an event, somebody who influenced you? Just jump into that.
So mostly when I think of, karma yoga, I think I believe that it was ingrained in me as a child. Since we lived close to my grandparents, they were a big influence in my life. I remember every morning, my parents and my grandparents used to do havan and chant mantras, and I hated waking up early every morning, but I had those mantras memorized even though I didn't know the meaning, just because it happened as a ritual every morning. um, I remember my mom and my grandmom having these marathon knitting sessions to knit sweaters for kids, for the kids in my mom's school. My grandfather loved to read, and he was really good at math. So all the neighborhood kids would come to him for study sessions, and he would just love to invest time in children. And for us, for me and my sister, I think weekends used to be seva time when my dad would take us to the Arya Samaj, the temple, and do chores. So overall, I think just growing up in that environment influenced a lot of the way of being and watching parents and grandparents evolve us. So that's
Yeah, I mean, like it's something it was a part of you, you never thought about it. So are you saying that you made those same choices as an adult, right? Just found something else that you could continue. Is that what you're saying?
right. So that's how the journey started, right? So
Okay.
it was always where your time is not entirely yours. Like you have to give to the to the community. You have to do seva, and it comes where it just became part of life.
So how was it like you have a full-time career? I know, yeah, we did, at least you completed it. I'm still to complete my ICP, and now you've started on your ACPE. And so with your kids, your work, your family time, and plus this community service that you do, um, like how do you manage your time, and uh, wh- how do you get the best out of doing community service? Because that's what, at least as Hindus, it's ingrained in us that, karma yoga, giving back, being part of society is important. So can you give us a little bit of um, what scholars would be interested is, like, you would be kind of a role model, right? So that's what I'm trying to get to, right?
Sure. So I am an engineer and I have worked in high tech all my life. Lately, I'm doing clinical hours at a hospital to finish my ICP program requirements. Um, the experience is really hard to describe in words. I'm trained for this as a chaplain, and working with sick and dying people by providing spiritual care, I feel is transformational for me as a human. So it's really an experience that I am enjoying so far. And in terms of managing time, um, this is an area which is hardest to manage for me. Some days are better than others.
Yes.
But like if you have a goal, then you work towards it, through organizational skills. That has helped me. So I definitely prioritize tasks that need to be done. And I usually have a working list of stuff that needs to be done in a given day. um, I do practice self-care by regularly working out. Like I'm an avid hiker, so I hike local mountains every weekend. And the way I'm able to accomplish this, I usually wake up early. I'm up by 5, if not sooner, every day. So by the time I'm back with my hikes or runs, the day hasn't started. Like it's 8:30, and then I can really start the day. And so overall, it's just a dance, a balancing dance, where some days you feel more accomplished than others.
Others. And how do you fit your children into it, and how do you weave that in, and their needs, and because especially as a professional mom, that will be really motivating for people, you know.
So I think it's kind of being, involving myself in volunteer work. I probably don't do enough to my soul satisfaction, but I try to insert myself anywhere where I get an opportunity, like, volunteering at kids' school, reading at the library, fundraising at kids' school. So they always felt involved as well because I made them part of it. I was doing it for
With them.
them. Like my girls learned Bharatnatyam, so I did a fundraiser for Care for Children, and we raised over $3,000 for this organization. So the way I was getting involved as a child, I try to involve my children. That way they don't feel I have a second job, which is a volunteering job. They feel part of it. So
Do as I do kind of thing.
yeah, so that's the
Lead by
only
example.
way, I feel that I am successful in doing what I do, because we kind of make it a family sort of event.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Anything else you want to wrap up with? Any last minute thoughts? Anything that would be inspirational? Feel free.
um
You have a couple of minutes.
I think karma yoga, is something which is always work in progress. right? It's one grows and gets better with life experiences. Like, as a mother, like I'm always catering to my kids' needs or providing for them, but I do have a hope that they will have a healthy and happy life, right? As a worker, I'm working my best in the hope of keeping my job and growing in my job. But over the years, one learns that, focusing on the process more than the outcome. It's both a challenge as well as something, as an outcome that I want for myself, right? Focusing more on the journey, as opposed to just the destination. And, Bhagavad Gita has been key in teaching us this message. And I'm not fully there, but I definitely know how to get there. It's just being consistent in that space, is what I'm trying to do, which is, meditation sometimes helps, breathing exercises, they all allow to take the thoughts that are not needed, and allow you to practice the detachment, in the outcome of the work that we are doing. So I guess that's been something as my mantra that I try to work towards, which is, I want to make sure that I'm not attaching myself to the outcome, even though I'm passionate, I'm high energy, I want to get the job done, but being able to accomplish all that by focusing in the present moment, really even helps with my pastoral or chaplain work that I do, meeting with patients, where you are connecting with them in the very present moment, as opposed to kind of thinking what will be the outcome of their sickness.
Yeah.
So I
Just
guess
as
that's
simple taking 5 deep breaths, and then you have kind of a, you're in the present, and, definitely. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate this, and you'll see yourself soon as an inspiration to upcoming scholars. Thank you again, Nitiji. Have a wonderful
Thank
evening.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shaji. Bye.
Okay. Stop.